Okay, good. Let's turn to this. America is taking its AI dominance global. The Trump administration launching a push to sell artificial intelligence abroad, calling on top American companies to submit proposals on how to best export technology and win the worldwide AI race. The White House says, quote, by promoting full stack American solutions, we are strengthening our economic and national security, deepening ties with allies and partners, and ensuring that the future of AI is led by the U.S. Okay, so the private sector moves on here. We've debated on this show, Jackie, about the extent to which you want to export your critical technology to other countries. The Trump administration pushing full ahead on this. What do you think about it?
Yeah, I like the way Axios puts it, that the Trump administration's AI strategy is based partly on a bet that the best way to win the AI race is to embed this tech inside other countries' digital infrastructure. And when you think about it that way, with the word embed deep in that infrastructure, it reminds me of everything else the Trump administration has tried to do, which is try to get a leg up on our adversaries. Instead of China embedding their technology within our infrastructure, and God knows what data they're getting or what they're doing with it, to have us, for the first time, I mean, he's like flipping the tables on this to make sure that the United States will be the ones that are doing that rather than the other way around. AI has been a huge part of this administration's push forward. You know, with this stagnating economy that Joe Biden handed over, it was AI and the growth potential, along with a lot of the other energy policies and tax policy and all of these things together, that were able to push this economy forward. And again, this is barring this blip that we're seeing as a result of the war. As I said in the first hour, before the war, the economy was like ready to rip and roar as a result of everything. And AI has been a huge part of that story. Remember that the Biden administration wanted to stifle AI, wanted to hand it on a silver plate to China.
Just a quick, I agree with you. I'm an advocate of selling the American stack, exporting it to the rest of the world, because we learned China's going to get their hands on it anyway, so we might as well benefit NVIDIA from the chips. Just throwing this out there because you talked about the war. We've talked about how ineffective China's anti-missile systems have been if they've sold it to Iran or whatever. But Iran has been more effective than we thought with some of their smaller, cheaper drones. My worry is, what if then that gets wrapped up with some of our chips? And now they're making drones with the stuff that we're selling China with our chips. I'm just throwing that out there. And I know that we have really good restrictions on what we can sell and what's in national security and whatnot. But given that renewed conflict with Iran and the use of particularly the drones that they've been using, it sort of made me rethink how much we really want to be exporting some of that AI to China or not.
Right, like, are you directly arming them? I mean, my short answer to that would be, I think they'd figure it out anyway.
Well, Departments of State, Defense, War, Energy will be evaluating the proposals, Dagan. That's government oversight of this, which we've talked about. How much government oversight do you want of these private sector deals? But maybe on the national security front, that's exactly what you need. What do you think?
Reading into this, it seems like more of a promotional effort by the United States government and these departments. But it also says the companies selected will get benefits like advocacy engagement, federal promotion, and federal financing tools. Which we're a subsidy machine as a nation with borrowed money. But I wonder, it'll be interesting to see who is involved, which companies are involved in this, because the big players, do they need the assistance of the federal government in any way, shape, or form to be part of the stack that's promoted in international markets? And also, this is why what happened with Anthropic and the Department of War was so ridiculously stupid for the Department of War to treat Anthropic the way that it has. And again, you don't like them, you don't like their tech, let them go. But by declaring Anthropic an enemy of the state, supply chain risk is the technical language, and blocking them from doing business with other companies that are providers or to the federal government or contractors with the federal government, you chase away other companies potentially from doing business with, even working with the government. Now, not Sam Altman, because he's, well, Sam Altman at OpenAI, but I will note that there was a judge who issued a preliminary injunction that blocked the federal government from enforcing this ban on Anthropic doing business with contractors. For now, there's the temporary an injunction. So, but you got to be careful how you treat the biggies, and Anthropic's a biggie.
Tiffany, I'm one of the guys on the panel. Well, I'm the only guy on the panel right now, but I'm one of the people who said I get a little nervous about exporting our best technology. I don't believe that China's going to get it anyway. I think they like to reverse engineer it. I'm just curious, with the whole push to promote the full American tech stack, are you concerned that we're giving away the best stuff that we have from a national defense standpoint, and you don't necessarily want to do that? Where do you stand?
Yeah, I mean, this may be more posturing because Trump wants to win at every front. He wants to win militarily. He wants to win in our economy globally. So I think it's a good thing for our country to be showing, like, hey, we are leading out front. We're not afraid of this. We're not like the prior administration that didn't want to touch this. We're going to push forward. I don't like the federal government subsidizing. I think the free markets have to take charge of this to fully flourish and have it work. Like, let's build that first. Let's make sure that we have the people and the ingenuity and everything to lead here first, which I believe we do have. So maybe it's just a signal in a way that, hey, we are here, we are leading, we are going to take the reins on this. And it is smart for us to export it to a certain degree and be embedded in other countries.
Government money is a way to get something going. It's also a way to control it when the next guys have power. So watch out.